Oh God. Hi there, it's Craig here. I actually got a fellow YouTuber on today. He lives in my neck of the woods. His name calls himself Fo. Fo, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Craig.
He's a fellow YouTuber, a fellow home brewer, and a fellow concoctor as well. We're gonna taste some of his Inmate wine in a few minutes. He's got it over here, and well, he'll explain to you when we pour it how he made them. And I also am kind of excited about the fact that he brought me some Star San. Thank you very much. And actually, I'll give you the money for that right now. Oh, an extra $5 there. There you go.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for picking this up for me. I really appreciate you doing that for me. That's what we're here for, to help each other out, and I really appreciate that.
No problem. Anytime.
Yep. So let's taste these things. What do you want? Which one? What do you got here?
Basically, what I did, I got the same. You inspired me to use that cranberry cocktail. I got it probably same grocery store you did. It's that no-name stuff. But instead, I used Nottingham beer yeast instead of the Fleischers. I think you used
Fleischmann's.
Fleischmann's.
Yeah, we were just trying to get so that people could do it out of the grocery store. But if you do want to bump up your technique a little bit, you can actually use some real yeast. So you used Nottingham?
I use Nottingham yeast. Yeah. I thought I'd give it a shot. It's more of an experiment. What I also did, I've got an uncle that makes a lot of wine, and I asked him how I can clear it out, and he told me just go get gelatin from the grocery store.
Gelatin?
Yeah, gelatin. It's just Knox brand. And what I did, I just sprinkled it into a little bit of water, and I kind of beat it in, so I got it all dissolved, and then you heat it up on the stove, but you don't want to boil it.
No.
You heat it up so it gets kind of hot, but before the boiling point, and once it's all dissolved, that's it. I just racked the wine off of the trub into a secondary fermenter, and I poured a little bit of gelatin on top, and I gave it a swirl, and I let it settle out, and you're going to see how clear this became.
Oh my God! See, this is what we were talking about the other day. We're working on getting this stuff to be a little bit clear, and it's actually kind of carbonated as well.
I did. I put a little bit of priming sugar in the bottle to try priming it.
Let's have a look at that there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but let's see, we're working our way into getting some real stuff going on here. And
this is just with grocery store juice.
Wow, let's have a taste. Cheers.
Sure. Cheers.
My God. Are you sure you didn't just buy some wine coolers?
I just used the corn sugar to bump up the alcohol, and Nottingham ale yeast.
That's really good. I mean, you can't beat that for what you paid for it. I mean, this tastes just like a wine cooler.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone else wants to call this. This is good stuff. This is great. It's a lot of fun to make this stuff too, isn't it?
It really was.
Mm. It's got a bit of a sweetness there.
That's I kind of planned for that because I when I was looking up how to make like a hard cider, a lot of people online were saying if you want it to be a little sweeter, use the ale yeast. And I thought, well, why don't I do that with the cranberry cocktail too?
Yeah, I've done that with Cooper's yeast, because I had an extra package of it around when I did the 2 cans.
Yeah.
And I just used the 1 packet, so I had the other one laying around. And I did get a sweeter thing. When I used the champagne yeast, it was really dry. There was hardly any sweetness at all. And I actually had to sweeten it. So I wouldn't recommend the champagne yeast unless you like really bitter tasting stuff. The ale stuff tastes a lot. The yeast works a lot better.
Yeah, like even the Coopers, and ale yeast is ale yeast in the end. Well, I'm sure different yeasts give you different flavors, I'm sure, but you know.
It still retains that cranberry kind of, that bitter cranberry flavor, you know what I mean? It's still there. It's really good, man. It really is.
Thanks. Hey, well, you inspired it, All I did was just, I changed out the yeast, and I cleared it a bit.
Cleared it a bit.
But I wonder, do you think that clearing it changed the flavor too?
Yeah, it doesn't have as much of a yeast flavor. It's definitely closer to something that you would buy in a store. I mean, mine had a little more yeast flavor because I didn't clear mine, and I didn't know about the gelatin. Actually, something, so you taught me something now.
And it's really cheap stuff. You get 12 packages of the Knox gelatin for about $5-6, and I only used a quarter of a package to clear this out.
So you put a quarter of a package in a little bit of water, right? Heated it up to get it dissolved. Added it to you siphoned your stuff into a secondary. Added this to it, mixed it around, and it just.
And then it all dropped out within it only took a day. And then by then,
fantastic.
I couldn't see through it at all. One day later, I went back into the root cellar where I had it, and I could see right through the little glass carboy.
Wow.
It was good.
So if you're really hard, like if you were really stuck and you had to use Fleshman's yeast, if you didn't have a homebrew store around anywhere, you could still get a nice clear product out of it.
I use grocery store Knox gelatin to clear it out. So maybe that's an experiment.
So it can all be done from the grocery store.
It can be. You can clear it.
If you've got access to, excuse me, some other products like the yeast, then you can bump it up with some real yeast. Absolutely great. Whoa, that one's carbonated. It's the 4th of July. Okay.
Go for it. Give it a pour.
Alright. Here, I'll do yours first. I want to be rude.
There's plenty.
It's clear too.
I use gelatin in there too.
Wow. And it's carbonated. Oh my god. That's awesome.
Nice. And actually, I haven't tried this one yet myself. I've had this one at home, but this will be the first time I try this. But the gelatin,
apple juice,
a little bit of corn sugar, and some male yeast.
And some gelatin.
And some gelatin. Actually, like, you could really see what the gelatin did because I racked it off the sediment again, and there was a nice little layer of sludge.
It's crystal clear, Fo. Like it's.
The gelatin works wonders, and it's so cheap. You can get it at a grocery store.
Let's give it a whirl.
Okay.
Oh,
cheers.
Cheers. That's dangerous.
It goes down way too easily.
Because it's good. It's good and it's smooth and it's pretty powerful stuff. It's actually really good though. Oh man. I can't taste any of the yeast flavor. It's still, again, it's nice and sweet. Like, not really sweet, but sweet the way wine sort of should be.
Yeah.
I think if you set this at a table, at a dinner table, I don't think anyone would even know that it was made out of like apple juice and brewer's yeast. Honest to God. I think what you and I should do is get one of those Festa kits.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's get a Festa brew.
You know, I'll buy it and we'll bring it in here and we'll go downstairs and we'll I guess there's not much to those, is there?
There's not much to those at all. There's nothing to do.
No. We don't want to pay the taxes on the beer.
Mm-hmm. That's why I originally started looking into it. Now I am getting more into the hobby of it, but I originally that's what made me go out there and look for how to do it.
Well, you know, it's a great hobby to get into, and I certainly don't discourage anybody when you're talking about beer. I don't discourage anybody from going all grain at all. I mean, you've got choices. You can do it however you want. I don't see anything wrong with letting somebody else make your work for you, and then you just go ahead and ferment it.
You pitch the yeast and you bottle it.
It's the same as the homemade wine.
Yeah.
I make, and you can go to places and they'll make it for you. You're basically paying for the ingredients, and you're letting someone else worry about the grapes or the fruit that makes the wine. You let someone else worry about that. You're just using the juice from it to make your wine. And it's the same with the beer. There's nothing wrong with it. And I really appreciate you bringing these.
No problem.
I guess we're going to sit here and, I don't know, have a couple more.
Why not?
He's got to drive, so.
Yeah, I better slow down.
Yeah. Well, thanks for picking up Star Scent for me, too.
Hey, anytime. Thanks for having me over.
Thanks, Fo.
Thanks, Craig. Nice to meet you.
Well, there you have it. I can't believe how clear that is. You know what? It tastes so much better when it doesn't have all that yeast and fog in it. And what a great tip. Gelatin. Who knew? Well, thanks to Fo for stopping by, bringing me my Star San, and bringing me this wonderful wine, which he made from juices from the grocery store, and he even let me keep the rest of the 2 bottles. That's a bonus. We sat for a while, actually a couple of hours. We had a great conversation about a lot of different things. It's just nice to know that there's a lot of nice people out there that are willing to help out, you know. You guys help me, I help you, we all help each other, and that's really the way it should be. That's what YouTube is all about, and frankly, that's what life is all about. I think most of you will agree. So I also want to thank, and I hope I say this right, but I'll put it down at the bottom of the screen here, thespiltink.com. That fellow made me some banners, and you'll notice there's one of them on the top of my YouTube channel right now. He's got wonderful artwork. Go over to his website, check out his work. I don't know if he does it for a living or what he does, but if you can always go over there and ask him questions. I've browsed through his website, and he's got some really cool artwork there. So he designed a few banners for me for free, and I really appreciate that. That's, again, people helping people. And that's really what it should be all about. And it is. For me, it is anyway. I want to say cheers. I want to say thanks to Murden 2002 for getting us into this stuff. And I want to say thanks to Fo for bringing us that great tip using gelatin to clear your wine. And I'll just briefly, before we go, show you the other one. This is the apple one he did. And it's hard to see on the camera because the camera doesn't register the light very well. But, I mean, well, let me just tell you, it's absolutely crystal clear. It's just nice to know that there's some super people in this world who are willing to just get along. Thanks, guys. See ya.